We've been receiving quite a few dark romance stories recently, so we thought why not give the people what they want? Plus, we got quite a few requests for this one from our community. Let's just hope that they don't all end in World War II or something like that again. Just my luck. But hey, these are their stories. So before we begin, we would like to thank our supporters for the wonderful donation. Thanks to all of them, we can make these videos for you guys and keep the lights on at the studio. If you would also like to help us out and get access to exclusive perks such as behind-the-scenes content and a patron-only Discord server, check out the link in the description. With that said, let's get started. No. 1. He loved me so much. He refused to die. I was born and raised in the Deep South, and most of my childhood memories involve crawfish boils, porch swings, and the scent of honeysuckle. It's hard to imagine anything grim happening in an environment like that, right? Wrong. When I was about 12, my mother died of cancer. It was the first time I had ever known someone to die. My father, being the stoic man that he is, seemed to carry on as normal after her death, which seemed odd to me. It wasn't until several years later that I realized he had loved my mother so much that he refused to let her go. Well, at least not yet. My dad never remarried, though many of his friends and even his family suggested that he should. He always replied, "I'm already married. I couldn't do that to your sister and I." Whenever he was with any potential love interests, he would always bring up my mom and tell them stories about her, often laughing. He would tell me the same stories, too, sometimes adding, "She could be so embarrassing sometimes." Then he would laugh. As I grew up, I could see how lonely my dad was. Though he tried to hide it, I knew he needed someone to take care of him, to listen to him talk about his beloved, to hold his hand when he watched TV. All of these needs were things that I, even as a child, knew a husband should have provided. Then I met Josh. I had been seeing Josh for about a year and I liked him a lot. He was kind, funny, and handsome. And I knew my father liked him too. One night, while having dinner with my dad and Josh, I brought up the subject of marriage. "I'd like to get married," I said to Josh. "I just need to ask my dad for his blessing first." "Blessing?" Josh scoffed. "What are you talking about? Your father isn't even alive." And then I understood. It turned out that the reason my dad was so against having a new woman in his life was because he was still in love with my mom. In fact, he was in love with the idea of my mom. That's why he didn't talk to women. Why would he? Who could replace her? That's why he laughed so hard when he spoke of her. It was easier to remember her through rose-colored glasses than to confront his grief. And now I understood why he hadn't even let her go after she'd been dead for 12 years. It was me who had to go. It hurt to see my dad like that, to think that he had become a recluse because of his undying love for my mom. But there was nothing I could do except move out. Josh and I started living together, and I moved my dad into an assisted living home nearby. One day, my father went missing. The staff told me he had wandered off, but they assumed he'd just gone to a neighbor's house and I shouldn't worry. Still, I called the police just in case. A kind elderly couple found him sitting on a park bench across town. When they asked him if he was all right, he replied, "No, I'm looking for my wife." That's when I decided to pay my dad a surprise visit. I entered his room and found him staring at the wall. "Dad, are you okay?" I asked. "Oh, I'm fine," he replied. "I just miss your mother. Oh, how I miss her." As I stared at his frail old face, I realized he wasn't going to get better. At some point, I had to let him go. I sat down beside him and took his hand. "Dad, look at me," I said. "Your time with Mom was special and will always be. But it's over now. She's gone, and you need to let her go." He looked at me with eyes full of confusion. "But I love her. How can I let her go?" "You can't let her go because you haven't stopped loving her, but because you refuse to stop loving her. You are keeping her from moving on. You are keeping yourself from moving on." "That's not true. I just miss her so much," he whispered. "Yes, you do, Dad, but that doesn't mean you need to keep her here with you." He looked at me, his eyes full of pain. "Okay," he whispered. From the moment I told my dad that it was okay to move on, he became a different person. His eyes lost their spark, their shine. The twinkle that used to dance in them disappeared. He no longer wanted to eat or drink. He no longer wanted to speak. And within a week, he died. To this day, I wonder whether he truly was able to let my mom go. Was he able to find her again? Has he finally stopped loving her? Or is he still holding on to her, refusing to let her go? Only time will tell. That was the end of our episode, and if you like this story, please leave a like and comment down below. We'll see you next time.